Alright, everybody, welcome back to the Losers Round. So, why? AC Rapture and Go to fight it out. Season 2, hot competition coming in from these two teams. I believe there's something promoted into the Father's Championship with Ruin taking the on the Demo Golden. And Harvey here, caster for tonight's games as Ruin does head up the main building. I do expect to see some nice demo action here. Um, but I'm very surprised actually they've not decided to bring the No One Escapes Death, which I feel like is a very important perk on an M1 killer such as Demo on this map. And Ryun's kind of lost a bit of his pressure here in the beginning, it seems, as kind of not opted to go and chase anybody at the start, but now does eventually decide to try and chase down our Quentin Ultra now, taking the first chase here, sees the 9 filler, probably going to play that for a little bit, should be safe against a Demogorgon, and Gun's going to force the drop and probably zone break over here, but actually, potentially Ultra deciding to go and play Paladin before taking another hit. So this should be an M2 into Ultra as he heads back towards the main building. We can see that the cross split is actually not really favored for Ryun in this current map. We have one top side and two bot, which is extremely rare. I think whenever I was swimming this map against pretty much any killer with Corrupt, you would see very commonly the Corrupt be in the triple gens, but it seems like Ultra is going to be able to make this vault here and play this pretty safely, although forcing the bamboozle vault now. Ryun is going to try and mind game just a little bit. Ultra, though, not taking the bait, going to be playing this chase out even longer. And Ryun really has to get this down soon. It's nearly 2 minutes into the trial before this down might occur. And yeah, Ultra's going to be able to do so. And unfortunately, he gets mind game though, so should be down here. But we've already seen a generator in the distance pop. 2 minutes for the first generator for the first chase. That's extremely well done. And if there's a head on or flashlight, it would be coming now. But unfortunately, they do not have the setup for that. So very nice chase here from Ultra. He lasted a good minute or so around the main building and one filler pallet and the other filler around main. But really, that was a very nice way to start off our demo chase. Hopefully our survivors are still cracking on with the generators. I think Vyun is smelling out something here on the 4 tile. And yeah, it does see that the pain resonance has hit this generator on the 5 tile and it's going to be falling back to hook though. Expecting a very early unhook, but actually no one's here. No signs of life are around this hook and seems like Vyun has to kind of double back and then try and get pressure from elsewhere. As he does here, Shaq is around 20%, going to kick it with the dry 5% and 25% regression before hitting another portal and portaling back as the on does occur in the distance. So, yeah, Survivors have had a good amount of time getting the generators done. So, I feel like I would expect to see around 2 generators pop soon. And Vyun's actually going to try and cut Ultra off from this Shack side, and I don't really know what Ultra decided to do there, but not vaulting the window, I guess, led to his demise. And that's going to be a quick second hook for Vyun. I already popped the painter, so that will not be an option. And he does not have pop, so he cannot pop the pop either. So he'll be chucking Ultra onto this hill hook at 6 and actually see some scratch marks around the shack side. I guess somebody was around there to try and stop the regression on the generator and actually does find our near here, just lurking around, trying to do some nice parting and actually manages to juke out the shred, but will not manage to get out of the position of this M1 as the ping, I believe, is going to result in the hits on the fall lane. Very unfortunate there, but it's still good work there, getting a good amount of value from that pallet as the second generator of the trial pops in the background. That's the deep 12 generator. Now kind of have a little bit of a 3-gen, seems like, on this bottom side, and Yun's Poppers is going to allow him to get this hit onto Ray, who probably will have to trade here. I mean, if they don't trade, then I feel like they're just going to get tapped. And seems like Ryun is going to accept the trade and try and go for the tunnel onto Ultra. Ultra not really being able to make that much. Ryun is waiting out the 10 seconds, but won't be enough as Ultra vaults the window. I think that might have been some kind of live exhaustion available for him. Another generator pops in the background, and he's got this entire top side to work with against the Demogorgon, even though you've got that 10% plus 10% break speed. Even on ping, it's very difficult to try and get through all of these pallets. Ryun's trying to do all this movement, and it's not going to work. Ultra, even on the ping, grabbing the stun and will make it towards this long wall jungle gym. Yes, that is indeed a long wall jungle gym for him to last even more on, and Bjorn might even decide to leave this. Yes. No, okay, no, does not decide to leave this. Here's Quentin go through the window side and will take the pallet drop, and now probably the death onto Quentin might be the case, but no, we see another filler pallet on this 2 area of the map. Remember, pretty much all of the fillers that spawn on this map are complete RNG, so Ultra's been doing a great job, creates the reverse on the pallet, unzoning himself and makes it towards the 12th side of the map. This is an amazing chase to close off Ultra's last chase. He even has another survivor here, but gets hit through the pallet. That was a bit too much of a greed ult. So will be taking the down. That was very unfortunate. Again, we saw a survivor around. We don't see them anymore. Maybe they've got a head on safe, but Bjorn is a little bit wary of it to swing. But that was such a nice chase to close out Ultra's final little bits of the trial. So Bjorn now fighting for this potential 4K as they do bot out this 3-gen on the bottom side of the map. I believe they'd already seen this and were trying to play for it earlier on, and I'm very surprised that none of them actually popped during the time that Ultra was being chased, and it seems like because of that, maybe our survivors might have gotten into a bit of a situation where they have to try and get the gens done in this 3-gen, and they might have to play a bit for it as Ada takes a tag. Going to be potentially committing this, but it seems to me Vyun's angling back towards this 3-gen setup, and I think Ada will be forced to rotate or someone will be forced to rotate to reset Ada here, as you don't really want to be heading into this 3-generator injured against such a weak killer like Demogle, and you don't have those kinds of extending chase perks or multiple uses of like overcome or life available. So he's going to take the free aggression on the generator, which was thankfully given by the skill check, and try and chase for tag. Does find, I believe, as Kate here, Shao, but actually going to be cutting him off from the top side. Perhaps trying to take a free tag onto them as a reset comes in distance. This is the chases that you want on the demo world, and now you kind of can cut off the rotations of the other survivors. Well, since they've reset, you know that they're not actually working any of the bottom side generators, so Ryun's just going to be happy to take the down onto Kate here, I guess, and get another pain resonance going, force out the generators by 20%. So that's just going to be happening as Kate runs to the corner of the map. Very good awareness there. Good use of the distance to make it further up the map. It's going to deny Ryun a bit of the agitation value to make towards that 3-hook, but still, nevertheless, should be able to make this pain as well. So he'll be taking that, probably going to portal back towards this gen setup, as that is kind of the only thing he has left to play with. And apart from that, really, this has just been a very, very good start for for loyalty, and I feel like I'm just very surprised that the gens have got popped here. Maybe it's going to be a bit of a cumulative effect, but Nier actually is going to be the one getting mind game on track. Unfortunately, not reading the bamboozle in time. Will take the M1 to the back, and now they don't have anything left to play with, I believe. They might have a main building vault, but nothing really else has been available since the Quentin got chased around here. But no, it seems like they do have this filler palette, and Yun is going to opt to break it now, 5 minutes into this trial. So it's just going to be a bit of a back and forth as Ryun kind of knows where everyone is, trying to get the zoning onto Nier. Oh, Nier's just going to run to the corner of the map, and that's just going to spell the end for Nier. But there's still all that they really wanted out of this chase. You know, getting out of that 3-gen is a really big deal. So Nier's now just taking it down, getting out of this, and will force the same pain resonance of 20% off the generators. But Shaoul actually has not been reset in this entire time, so I'll not be completely surprised if I see one pop before this pain resonance comes in, but no, it will not. So the pain resonance will be in time as Ryun does kind of angle towards this 5-side generator, taking this portal on 3 just to speed it up, and we'll maybe find someone out here to use a bit of this sign of life. No, okay, no sign of life. I believe that's the pain resonance sparks flying off it, or perhaps our survivors just haven't touched the generator in like over 2 minutes. So that's going to be in action as Shaq is now actually being regressed a very, very good amount. See, it's only just barely turning that first piston by like 5%. So really, our survivors are nowhere to be seen. Maybe they're on main, and Rion kind of acknowledges it. Maybe they have been on this main building generator the entire time, and he has not been aware of it. But no, they've actually not. So all the generators back onto 0%. Very, very good transfer of pressure from Rion. But now, not having the pain resonance to work with for the future hooks, might mean that the generators start to speed up just a little bit, and we can see maybe one of them pop here because it's definitely doable if our survivors play patiently. But Shower was just not being reset this entire time, so I have to be wondering what they're doing. Potentially, they're stealthing around the shack area of the map, and I think I did see scratch marks around there. So Ryun is going to play detective demo just to check out if anyone was really here, and um, I guess not. Couldn't be pulled away. Checking on the generator. Also regressing is this 5 generator, so really no pressure is being applied by survivors. So Leon's just happy to muck around and actually manages to find out the reset location. Finds both survivors here. Kate kind of getting a little bit zoned with the jungle gym being gone. I mean, that he takes the shred to the back, and Leon's just gonna take this free down here. Oh, never mind, the power's still up, but still, after this power's gone, I believe there's nothing else on the Father Capital, and Leon's going to take a nice shred to the back. Maybe try and force this hook slightly towards the bottom side of the map, since that is going to be closer to the 3 gen. But actually, no, Leon's just deciding to hook quickly, try and get back to the 3 gen via this portal here on the uh, the circus side of the map. And let's check the progress yet again. Truly, our Ada has been pressuring one of these generators by now, and you see the near definitely unhook in the distance. But very still, we have to wonder what kind of percentages have been put into these bottom side generators, because yeah, we just have not seen our Ada for a very, very long time after they've been tagged in. Absolutely no signs of life, and really not much progress at all around the shack. So I really have to wonder what our survivors' plans here are to tackle this generator. So okay, now in this region, they only have one network and a survivor yet to be pain res. So it's still a pretty difficult situation to try and get out of, I would say. Even with the 3 health states, you can't really force how does have enough time to just commit to the chase and just down and kill them to try and get back to the so then just again maybe checking for the head-on survivor in this track because they have not seen it yet, and potentially because they haven't seen it yet and they haven't seen Ada that much, the Ada might be head-on, but seems like no, Ryun's not really going to be able to find too much, except actually a bit of killer instinct at the top of the main building, so he's heading straight there, trying to cut off the survivor. Nice timing there. Does find our Shower and our near doubling, so that means our Ada is definitely in the bottom side of the map, trying to get something there. Take the shot at the window. Ryun might actually allow this down to occur, but Ryun kind of potentially. Oh my gosh! Hold on, sorry. I near here completely monkey paw the ruin. And unfortunately, oh my god, he's gonna take the dodge on this Paladin and take this down as well. Throwing him towards the top side, he's gonna be able to make the top side of the map, um, even though he was injured and monkey paw with that being involved. Oh my god, such a bad attention. Aid is gonna just give up the Shack Palette to preserve the health state. Yeah, it's still a bit of a situation. Almost five. These gens still. Oh, okay, and we had a disconnection. So I think that's just going to secure 4K2 for Leon, really. Don't know if I'm having to get out of this with a disconnect. Leon's happy to take the tag. Go back to main building. The main building is going to pop, making this 4K1. Leon's also going to swing for shower, but not going to mean that much. And yeah, I guess, yeah, making this 4K1 definitely much better than the 4K2, but still giving really good results trying to keep up with them over there. Imagine if they had an additional survivor in the trial. As of right now, injured or not, it's still a very, very huge resource to have. And because now they're gone, now we should be able to secure this kill and 4K1 situation going on here. Increasing onto Ada, hearing the bunch of payment. Will decide to actually pick up. Maybe seeing the tenacity as well. Might have to pick up. But yeah, 4K1 gonna lock things up here for you on the Father Campbell Chapel. I believe you are looking at trying to get out here on this map. So very definitely like to do. Even through the disconnects, I feel still a bit of work to be done. But very well played to Ian Fielders. And we just one does happen in the distance. Okay, it's definitely around there. And going to take the elbow back. Should be able to secure down here. No track, no track palette available for either of these survivors, and loses Arcade kind of, but decides to run after Ada instead. So that should just be a quick death here. Nothing to really work with anymore around this main building. I'm just gonna just decide to slug again and see if they can catch out that injured Kate on the bottom side of the map. Potentially, they will find some signs of life, but I don't really know how far the Kate's gone. Seems like not far enough, as Kate is now going to be playing the 5 tile. They did have a Paladin drop that 5, but they definitely wouldn't have made it. And now with Bamboo, we're just going to see be trying down the match. So, very nicely done by Rapture, as I said before. That I don't know. I'm very just surprised that Rion opted for no it. I such an aggressive build. And of course it worked out, but at the same time, maybe our Ada might actually be able to do something here with the tenacity. So the whole thing is not really lost yet for our survivors. Rion kind of realizing now, but potentially that the tenacity survivor is down, but realistically, it's still going to be a 4K result, as I don't think Ada was calling towards the hatch. So usually don't see adrenaline on the tenacity survivor either, unless it's a C tier. So just guess that do not get the hatch escape. And Yun is a little bit we trying to bait out our survivor into the hatch. Not wanting to play adrenaline, maybe I'm not entirely sure, but should just close it just around now. Oh, it is going to be the tenacity adrenaline survivor down in the ground. So I'm going to be trying to take the portal towards the top side, and look at these gates, man. They are just locked up for the demo, and I feel like it should be enough time for Ada to get some progress. Oh my god, wait, they've just been sticking the gate the entire time. This is going to be, I believe, top stable. Top stable. Okay, 4K1 still for Rian. So yeah, well played. Killed the final hooks in the end game, and we'll have to see what loyalty Killer can put up, because they have to try and meet a 4K1 tie condition, which is pretty difficult, I'd say, on the demo run. So, I guess that being said, we will be back after short intermission while that match is being set up. Okay. We do have now Ultra taking the demo Logan back on the Father's Temple Chapel, running it back against the Survivor side of the Rapture here. So we'll have to be seeing what Ultra can do about this 4K1 win con, which was set by Vuren in the previous trial, because that is no easy task on the demo Logan, especially on this map. You would expect to get out. So yeah, no signs of survivors just as of yet. Corrupt is around 40 seconds gone, but does see a little bit of signs of life here. Scratch marks left by some survivor. Pesky. Ooh, some pesky Saga Anderson. She will be shredded but not get hit, and there's going to be a lot here too, so I'm not entirely sure where they came from, but it's going to give the free Blood Favor tag, and oh my god, this is 2 tags extremely quickly for Ultra. Maybe they can snowball this. Blood Favor is going to be such a big deal for our survivors. Usually the pallets are your friends on this map, and it seems like um, that's not going to work with a Blood Favor unless potentially the cooldown didn't run out of time, but it seems like it's going to be very, very fast down for Ultra in this second half of the demo set, and I'm really surprised that I see Raptor making this kind of mistake in the early game, giving away a tag and a down within the first minute. That is not something you want to be playing for. I mean, still on the Demogorgon, you can look for playing for much better results, but even then, it's just not really something you want to do. So Ultra's going to try the movements here on Adam and goes for the swing through the pallet, but it's going to miss. Very nice spotting from Adam to avoid that, but going to take the M2 tag here. And now there might be a little bit of problems, team, in the Rapture chat, because with this Blood Favor, potentially Ultra can get this down, but no, he's going to decide to opt to go back to the hook. Why did I say decide to opt to go back to the hook? That makes absolutely no sense, but just managed to catch out Oh, Alara, sorry, that is Alara. Heading towards the shack. Beat up in the shack out now, and no, this is not Lara, this is Nazan on the Saga. Fresh hook, and might be able to give away a pain resonance if that's going to be the case, but shouldn't be playing this very patiently as Ace comes in fully body block tank to try and do something, but don't really know where the Ace is going. Potentially they went into the locker, but seems like nothing's going to be happening just as of yet. As Ultra tries to mind game, this does get down. It's very unfortunate through the ping. You can't. I feel like you can't really do that much against a demo Goblin on that kind of ping. So it's just yeah, it's, it's just yeah. I mean, you could have run around potentially. You could have run around the dongle, and that also has its own issues. So Nazan taking the down. You're on the bottom side of the map, and we did have some very good pressure. Oh, Nazan, sorry, Nazan's the one being hooked. Okay, it was a while being hooked. As Alsha takes the Pentimento. Damn, yeah. What is this position our survivors are in? This is just extremely surprising against a demo goal. And 5 generators remaining, 3 injuries, and still yet to see anything close to a generator pop. So Ultra maybe just gonna be chilling here. Could be 4K results as it's just I don't know. It's just not enough pressure somehow from our survivors. I don't know what to say. So Ace here keep is gonna so fast is gonna take the reset in the background. And that means really these generators can't have had that much progress. So it's just gonna take more dry clicks on the generators. But Pentimento is gonna make that uh, a lot more difficult to try and repair it. So the trade's gonna come in. There's no trade. It's gonna be a clean on hook as Nazan is gonna be the one to be tunneled out now. Taking the pre-drop of the talent driven, might try and make it back towards the shack area of the map, but they should be dead here. Maybe it doesn't. Oh, okay, there's a pre-run, but it won't be enough distance as that hit through the vault will happen, and Nazan's now dead. With 4 generators remaining for our survivors, only none of them are healthy. What the hell? None of them are healthy. So I don't know what I don't know what Rapture's plan is here, because if they try and rush the generators, they get caught off guard on the high ping. They might just get tapped here and then start falling like flies. So they should reset. They should realistically be resetting here, but none of them have been resetting for the past 5 minutes as Nazan dies um, and was dying. So find Ace though pre-running towards this carnival, and it will not be enough of a greed to secure more time for Chase. So yeah, no, now Ultra really might just be able to fight for the insane result. Another pain resonance on the board as Penti is cleansed. 1-for-1 trade. Now they know exactly where this survivor is. They have to be around this power gym area. Does see the scratch marks leading towards main. Good awareness by them, not really wanting to pre-run towards Shack, which is what I would do. So Ultra not really going to be able to get the down just as yet, but we know that Survivor is definitely injured, and even if they aren't, then you can find another Survivor very easily. As we do find Adam here taking the vault on the jungle gym. It's not going to be enough of a target to confuse Ultra. So yeah, now with this second down within like 30 seconds, our Survivors are starting to fumble just a little bit. They really do need this reset. So please reset is all I'm saying. Really, really cannot attack the generators in a 3v1 against the devil, and your chases will just not be long enough to be worth trying to go for it. It's just going to be holding back, trying to catch out of Swagger. But it seems like you're going to take the shred through the power. The thing is going to be high lava, and it's going to be pulling straight back to the hook. You're in the basement, not going to be. Oh, no sign of that? No sign of that. So we're still going to be hanging as Ultra plays for this final slug onto our ace, and he's going to run straight into Ultra, so it's just going to result in a 4K for the Father's Campbell Shuffle, something I would definitely not have expected, especially from a loser's bracket quarterfinal. I feel like, I don't know, I'm just extremely surprised that this is the case, but it is what it is. 4K4 going to result from this set. Surprise turnaround, I would say, as I thought the 4K1 would have been good enough for Rapture to try and beat. So now Ultra is just going to be looking for a while. Just around this head ramp does steer this year themselves. get a quick pick up and secure this. So very well played to Ultra, taking away Rapture's step pick. So we have to see what Rapture can do on their own pick because you know they've been pretty strong throughout this losers bracket, and I really can't. Oh, okay, we're in this. Anyway, can't wait to see what happens in this next trial. Okay. We have loaded into the Caleb Quinn. He does walk with the limp though as Ultra. This is not Ultra, hold on. This is I cannot. Okay, let me restart that. Last Fur gonna be taking on the responsibility of the Deathslinger. Caleb Quinn, he does walk with the limp though, as we do head up the side of the fort and actually on the top side of the map. Very nice corrupt split for our survivors, for our killer here on the Azrov's resting place. The last address of Azrov were apparently taken on this of this junkyard according to the law. So going to be taking a very nice gun redeemer tag onto Nazan. And the blood favor is going to be applied, and Nazan might not be able to make it that far up the map as he tries to go for a pre-fire shot onto this middle area of the map, and Ryun is going to get caught out on the blood favor totem, but it's not really going to be a big deal as they do both of them make it towards the bottom side of the map. So is this where you want to be getting chased? Lastfur is kind of understanding this, but he does manage to catch Ryun trying to rotate back in. A little bit of a premature rotation, I would say, as they do manage to juke out again, but gets a beautiful shot to this little bit of junk. So that's going to be some cigar value for Lastfur, and this might just be a two-tap, as this blood favor is just not going to have... Oh, never mind, the blood favor just got that light. So swinging through the pallet, not going to be working here, as this generator is actually on around 60%. Unfortunately, our survivors will just have to leave this generator, I think, to Ross, because I don't think it's going to be possible to work the generator. But Lastfur is going to go for a prediction shot yet again, and this is a lot more time getting taken away from Team Loyalty, and I'm kind of surprised that it not managed to get it down yet by this time. As I don't know, maybe our survivors have been playing extremely well as Crop Intervention runs out, and Adam is going to be running towards the top side. I'm not entirely sure if this is something that I would do. Is usually you'd want to go away from the 4gen as much as possible, but we hear that that generator on the top mid is very high progress, so we do catch out Steve taking a hit for Adam potentially, and they're both going to be running down. Steve going to be giving away the down just on top of this high progress generator in the top side 4gen. We'll start things going for Team Rapture. Sorry, Team Loyalty. God. Team Loyalty. And me taking this free pain resonance, I guess. And does actually hit another generator, so we did hear a scream in the background. Potentially it was Mason, but no pen resonance on this top mid generator might really be an issue for Lastfur, as kind of want that to go down to 0 as quickly as possible to make sure that 4gen stays intact and nothing pesky happens. So dry kick, unfortunately, will be what has to be applied. And now, with this generator being popped, our survivors have made a crucial error on... I think this is a crucial error anyway, because now they have to try and rotate into the top side of the map, and Lastfur is going to punish this extremely nicely. This is why you cannot have survivors you know, splitting like this on the Azrov's resting place. Now it just seems like to me that they have potential of just getting 4K2'd, you know, like it's going to be so hard to try and play for this unhook situation when you can't have people going in for the unhook, because like two of them are injured. You're the only healthy one baiting the chase. Not really going to do anything though, because the entire point of this is that Lastfur can camp this entire topside generator sub, because the choke point of this map is the real thing. But no, they've actually allowed a survivor into the top side, so we'll be chasing them down. No doubt that Vuon's going to try and push as well into this top side as Bure, his second stage. Lastfur really needs to make his chase short, but Nathan gets reset in the distance, so maybe Vuon had not pushed up just as far as I believe. So he'll be taking it down now, surely, on this fellow. They cannot get much more time, but Lastfur's going to be missing the shot as the unhook happens in the distance. Trying to get this survivor to the bottom side should be of the utmost highest priority of the survivor side right now. Ace is going to be stuck on the top side. Surely our unhooking survivor as well should be playing to reset them, but Steve's going to get tapped. going to get shot in the back, and now this is going to be the death and 4 generators remaining for last first. Saw an additional survivor as well on the bottom side near the bus. So if they do keep track of that, they might want to check that area. But decide to just leave the survivor and check to the top side, maybe potentially cutting off this reset. But no, they've actually decided to go for the shot, and they take the shot into Rion. Going to take the free cigar value, but Rion's actually going to try and deny it for a little bit, but it's going to take it out anyway, giving away the additional second of less stun time, and going to get 2-tapped yet again. And we have problems here, team. Survivor on the top side of the map is the one that's injured. The one in the 4-gen is the one that is injured. You cannot have that kind of scenario happening, even in such a situation. 3 gens left, you have one dead. It's such a difficult thing for Survivor to try and tackle here. And the pain resonance hits this generator. I I don't know how survivors will deal with this, but we do find ACI, so I think this might be over, but no! Blasto's not going to have enough time to get the shot off, and Ace is going to be able to rotate it to the bottom side of the map, but then we're still stuck at square one. What do you do here for the survivors? Do you try and cross? In this scenario, you are screwed. You can't cross without the Deathslinger finding you, and yeah, it seems like the Deathslinger has found Fast trying to cross this set, and we'll just get downed again. I think this will just spell the end for Team Rapture here as the unhook comes to the distance. Free slugging will be applied. I make it sound as if it's like a perk or something, but free slugging is going to be available for Lasser, and oh, actually, they're not even going to bother to try and chase the top side. Just going to get the hook back onto our ace. I don't know if that was necessarily the play. Could have potentially gotten a tag onto Nazan before going for this, but they find Nazan anyway. Scratch marks near this pallet means that they know where Nazan is. So Nazan, I don't think he should have been playing this aggressive here on the top side, but seems like they still do have a little bit of distance around this main building. Potentially they can make something work, but I think they've been spotted out just there. Yeah, the little bit of Saga's oh my, no way that's a shot. No way that was a shot that was going to be pulled off. If that was, nah, that's crazy that Lastford even went or even considered that shot. But I think it's just going to be end here. Not 4K3, 4K2. Even Nizan's going to be able to juke this shot. Still, again, in the same problem scenario where Lastford can just completely camp this out and nothing else survivors can do except pop the last generator in the background around Shaq, which he doesn't really care about, as they know that. Oh! Now that is why people main Deathslinger, to get those kind of shots, and Fast just will have to down hook here. I don't see them popping the generator and resetting in time to go for the unhook, so wow. Well, I mean, what a match! What a match from Last Fight here, managing to do such a nice job. Even though that start was rough, fully running out the crop intervention. Thought the gen progress was very, very high for Survivor's side, but only just one mistake it takes for the entire side to just, you know, I guess you could say crumble, as this Shaq is going to be dropped, and you're going to try to play this out, but I don't really know if, yes, Last is not interested at all. That's what I was going to say. I don't think he's interested at all. Does find out Ruin playing for the aggressive rotation onto the unhooking situation, which kind of needs to come into play, but it's going to take the down. No, Clutch will come in clutch here. Ruin being able to save this health state for just a little bit longer might allow our Saga to pop the large generator, and they do pop this Shaq generator, but they do not have enough time whatsoever to get to our unhook, so it will be a 4K2 pretty much guaranteed at this point. I don't see any possible way. No. I mean, okay, maybe they do get the pull, but then both survivors are injured. Nazan is going to take a shot to the back and down, and then Ace is going to be the only survivor up. Depends how they play this out, but I'm just going to consider maybe just tumbling out of Ace here. Playing very smart here, forcing out the Redeemer shot to delay time and then get the hit through the bottom time after it's over. So Nazan, again, going to be the last survivor standing, and securing this 4K2 very nicely done by Last Fur. I feel like there's not really too much you can do on the high ping, so securing this just very nicely done. After what I thought was a pretty rough start, I was saying, and oh, okay. Last pixel. So Very, very nicely done by Lasfer. I feel like a lot of the time wastes near to the middle of the match kind of like didn't matter too much because to me I think literally if you don't take the shot you can't miss like any shot you don't take, and really going for those like ambitious shots on survivors while holding the choke point is really got nothing to lose at that point because our survivors just were not in a position to rotate. So yeah, getting those clips as well, surely they would have clipped the some of the hits there because that was some incredible Destiny gameplay that I saw there. So being taking the bleed outs and 4K2 onto onto Rapture survivors, which is just very yeah. So, with this being the case, now Rapture has to try and fight back for this 4K2 result. Vion probably going to be taking it home for Rapture, trying to even it out on Loyalty's picks. So we'll be back after a short intermission while we get that set up. Hello, everyone. We are back with the second half of the Caleb Quinn trilogy. Not trilogy, well, trilogy as in one of three sets of the best of three for tonight. So, Vyun, as Vyun usually plays Caleb for Rapture, going to be taking the responsibility of the Caleb Quinn in these chases. And Ultra couldn't get found really quickly. Takes the vault, and Vyun's going to miss. Very unfortunate there. Going to be missing again his shot onto Ultra, and he's kind of a bit overcommitted to this top side of the map. So, yeah, he's going to be rotating towards the bottom side. Does catch out a survivor trying to rotate, but will be able to scare them away back to the top side into the cup where they won't be able to do anything for the time being. But in this time, actually, we've just seen Blood Favor get cleansed, and we also saw a bit of a survivor crash marks as well around the 8 side, I believe, unless that was my eyes seeing wrong with the filters. So now good with another totem. This is exactly why I was thinking that you should not bring totems into this map, as it does give our survivors an opportunity to do something in the corrupt interventions area of the map, as you take the miss onto Nancy. Ruin's lost 2 perks here in in this 90 seconds, of which corrupt is nearly gone. So now it's just deciding to commit to our survivor here. Seeing the scratch marks at 2 and 1, and does take the M1 onto K. Actually, not even deciding to M1. They're saying the M2. That's very strange. I feel like if you can M1 as a Death Slinger, why not? Because you don't have to reload and you buy yourself more distance. So we're going to take the shot though. Very nicely done. We'll be able to secure this down potentially if the swing does come through. But the ping is going to be too good. Vyun should not have paid so much for his internet, because that is going to be a chase, extend this chase even longer. 2 minutes are already gone. See a survivor in the distance as well, but Vyun's not interested. Just wants to get this down onto Shawl, which will be running into the corner of the map, no doubt. They've been very diligent with the death spots of survivors and loyalty. But no, very nice shot. We'll actually deny this for Vyun. So it's going to be going down, and we'll have to see if Vyun decides to drag them towards the middle area of the map. But yeah, very great start from my survivor side. They got the death spot correct. They died in the 3 gen, not in the 4 gen. And they also managed to get the 2 totems out of the trial very fast. So you can see here the survivors have been pressuring the generators so well. If you have this generator at 7 and another one, I think, at Shack, nearly close to popping, like 70% each of them. And we saw Nia as well stealthing for the unhook. So that is exactly what the plan is for choke point maps on the higher tiers. So I'm going to assume that the unhook does occur soon as Ultra is getting committed here. Unhook immediately occurs as I'm saying that. I can kind of be their minds at this point, but Vyun here is going to be trying to take the down into Ultra, but no, Ultra going to be taking the crisscross little bit of juking just for a bit to delay this hit, and will unfortunately take the cigar to the back and force Vyun to force this down on the bomb after that. We'll be able to secure the shot, and I think this might be enough to get a swing off, but no, it will not be, as Ultra did not vault the pallet. So it's going to continue chasing as Ultra does his best to serve up the juice here. Oh my god, what is that flick? Okay, interesting spectator flick, but not going to work out. Ultra's going to potentially get his bounce banding off. This could be huge for him if he does manage to get far away. And seems like Shack Generator pops, and this is now crumbling for Vyun here on the ARP, because now Ultra suddenly, instead of running in a 4-gen, is now running into 3, is running into 2-gen, which spawns here. So perfect death spot location again from our survivors. And I'm just wondering whether we do see another generator pop in the background. Main has progressed. This generator as well, I believe, on the 1 tile has progressed. Our survivors just cracking on with the percentages. Very diligent work there, even though the pain resonance will come in. Such now a task for Rion to try and 4K2 this, as now he doesn't know where anybody is. And even if he does manage to find somebody on the top side, they have one whole health state to work with, and they don't have to worry about the 4-gen setup on the bottom side of the map. So Rion kind of forced to kick this generator here to try and get something going, and will also take the 2-for-1, breaking the main building door as they try and chase down our survivor here. I believe they might have even jiggied away, but no, it is going to be Nia taking the next chase here around the main building. I feel like they should have just monkeyed towards the bottom side of the map, because that's where you want to be dying. It's away from all the good generators, but going to be doing a good job of duking out the Redeemer chain, and just for a little bit, as I say that, they just do get tagged in. Another pre-fire on to Nia is going to be going on, and Rion surely needs to get this down very soon. Doesn't nearly manage to get the mind game on the 4 lane, but the jukes from the survivors, oh my gosh, the pathing is strange but works, as Rion does try and mind game this, does take the down. No, the pre-shot again from Rion. This is even more time bought, and this smash it potentially, but probably going to be split burst. So no, because of the flashlight. So stun coming in, generator pops in the background, and now things are just falling for Rion. The 10 generator is complete, and there's no 3-gen left for Rion to defend. So I think in this 4v1, I feel like Rion is going to have to concede defeat. Going to take the vault as well, trying to shoot over, but the chase is just not going to be working out for Rion. Should just break his pallet, man. Serves as such an issue in trying to catch pretty much every survivor that's played it, and unfortunately, though, Nia's going to finally take it down. But there's so much time bought for our survivors. I'm not going to be surprised at all if we see another generator pop on the bottom side of the map. Completely possible that is the case, but even if it doesn't, our survivors have more than enough time to do so. And it seems like Kate here is going to take the hit for the pain resonance not to occur in time. So Loyalty is going to be the victors of this best of 3 in the quarterfinal losers bracket. So very, very nicely done on the Dustlinger set, showing Team Rapture how it's done. Playing this, I'd say, pretty well, pretty textbook. But being able to exploit the mistakes even allows them to get the last generator done as well. So now Viren just going to be having to play for stages with his head hanging high, I guess. Only 3 stages in the bag for him. So yeah, it's insane stuff from our survivors, especially the pull off here on Ping. You know, both sides I think did juke, and they both juked well, but maybe Rapture just gave away too many free tags. I don't know. Maybe they should have rotated. We'll take a nice pre-shot onto Nancy again, but at this point, it's a little too late. We needed to get those downs earlier, injuries earlier. So with the split gates as well, I would think. Oh, not split gates. Never mind. We have 10 and 12. But still going to be pretty easy to try and out here. As another pre-shot, another pre-fire onto Ultra will be coming through, and another cigar pop will be able to buy a bit of time for Rion to potentially go for something. But with all our survivors injured, now they know there's no Noah. Can potentially go for something. Nia is going to get caught out, and Rion tries to flick again, but Nia is just too slippery here. They called him Butter Bill for a reason, I guess. No, I'm joking. I was something made up on the spot. But again, this pallet just serving as such a nuisance. Rion finally decided to kick it and try and get this down here onto me. I should be able to get it now, and I'm going to. Yeah, I think he's just going to have to play for this 5-stage result, because 10 is pretty much already open and Nia's already been hooked. You hear the gates opening. Very, very close, but not actually enough. So potentially they don't actually get the gate done in time. So yeah, just a bit more duty here as Loyalty tries to play for this best result possible, which I think they've definitely done here. Take into account as well that that demo game was a 4K4 item. 4K4, sorry, 4K3. I just cannot fathom how that's possible. But it seems like our survivors here might actually be able to get out of the gate in time, because Ultra Oh my god, Ultra kind of playing the predictive play on the gate. He wouldn't have made it, I think, if the M2 into the M1 would have happened. So secure that out there as Kate does get down. Nancy gets full hit, and it might be enough, but the hit through, of course, so Shao going down too many 5 stages if Yun decides to take it, but he wants to slug for a little bit, force our survivors out so we can't go for anything stupid. And yeah, that kind of just wrap things up. Essentially, two tap onto Nancy. No, not really. So that's all she wrote here for the quarterfinals. Yun having to take away this O2 from Team Loyalty. So yeah, very well played from Loyalty there, but we'll be sad to see. We'll be sad to see Rapture go. It was a great time having them in the season. They played extremely well. Yun playing killer most and played really well. Had some tough matchups, but guess will not be progressing. So GG's, thanks for playing, and Loyalty is going to be progressing in to our next match in our loser bracket semifinals, which will be against Bleed Out. So home team for Blood Rush League, of course, that'll be interesting to watch. So that's going to be uploaded shortly once that match is fully played out and etc. set up. So yeah, that's going to be it. Nothing else I can say. So good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.